Last 12 days that I've been here, I have seen some improvement in my left hand. Before I was not able to straighten my fingers out in my left hand, and now I am able to straighten 3 out of the 5 fingers. I do have a little bit more movement in my thumb, and again I contributed that to the therapies of the physical, the occupational, and the aquatic. Now I also have a little more energy. I think that has contributed to the balanced diet, the 3 balanced meals that I do receive here, and also just having the energy and the thought of there is some kind of help with the ALS problem that I have. So mentally, it gives you a little release on life and something to look forward to. I did regain a little movement in my left hand, the fingers. That had nothing to do with the actual stem cells, but the actual therapy itself was very concentrated on my weaknesses on my left side. Unfortunately, treatments in the United States for ALS does not exist. There's very little research, and so for looking for alternatives in the United States, a lot of doors were shut on me, and I had to look elsewhere for any type of treatment that I can get. I did a little research on stem cells. I actually was contacted by a former patient, and they gave me the website, and I did a little more research, and I thought it was a good fit for me. Through a former patient, they were very happy with the progress that he was making, and I was looking for a treatment that would be suitable for my expectations. I wasn't expecting a full recovery, but the stem cells was a promising course of action for myself. I was in contact with Hannah. She answered 20 different types of emails that I sent. They were very detailed, and later I was contacted by Yasni. She is actually part of the staff here at this location, and she answered further questions about the actual procedure and the treatment plan that would be suitable for myself. And you know, the rest was history. I came here and I was accepted after 2 weeks. I did get 3 stem cell injections into my spine, and that is supposed to help the growth of stem cells. It'll take 3 to 6 months, and that will possibly help to regain some of the mobility that I've lost. I also got 2 IV with stem cells, and those are supposed to stop the progression of my ALS symptoms. I also got several IVs of vitamins. I got protein shots to help the growth of the stem cells. So one, it's to help the stop of the progression of ALS, but also in the future to help maybe regain some of the mobility that I've lost. Along with the stem cells and all that, I also had a lot of therapy sessions. I had occupational therapy, I had physical therapy, I had aquatic therapy, I got acupuncture, and I also got some motor neuron stimulation. Along with the therapies, I also saw a nutritionist that came in. She recommended change my diet to lower some sugars. Sugar helps progress the ALS, so she gave me a diet plan on some of the foods that I can avoid and some of the better foods that I could include into my diet on a daily basis. Obviously, they suggested exercise and kind of eat a little more consistent diet as far as 3 meals a day, cutting out the late snacks before I go to bed. Coming from the United States, I was a little worried about coming to Thailand. There's all different types of horror stories and stuff, you know, with traveling. But my wife and I, who accompanied me on this trip, was very impressed with the facilities. First of all, the staff, the doctors were very knowledgeable. They actually had a sense of humor to where, you know, they made you relax, and it wasn't just sticking needles and terms that you couldn't understand. The nurses were always there. They made sure that you were comfortable, and they went out of their way to make sure that you understood what was going to be done to you on each particular day. Like I said, they had some 3 balanced meals. They actually cleaned our room 3 times a day, which was very shocking. And one of the things that we were worried about was security when we landed. They actually picked up us from the airport and it took us right to the hospital. And after one day, we were able to walk the streets and felt safe. So, you know, the pre-notion of an unsafe environment was not true. The facilities was super clean, that you could actually eat off the floors. Not saying that you should, but you know, it is that clean to where you know, it took us by surprise. The staff, as far as the physical therapy and all that, they were very knowledgeable. They knew the conditions and what they needed to work on. Each person is different, and they focused on what my needs were instead of just reading off a manual. I believe the stem cells injections were the right step for me. As I've been treated here, I have seen stroke victims, I have seen a blind person, I have seen other ALS patients. I believe that this will help me in the future. Right now, obviously, I won't know 3 to 6 months from now whether it has or hasn't. But in my heart, I wouldn't have flown 23 hours to get here if I did not think it would work. I believe that the doctors, nurses, everybody that's at this facility believes in what they're doing, and I look forward to the results. This, however, might not be for everybody. You need to do your own research and make a commitment and find out what your expectations are to whether this is going to work for you or not. My expectations was to stop the progression of the ALS. If I can retrieve some of the mobility that I lost, to me that's a bonus. But right now I would prefer to live a life to where I'm not deteriorating at a rapid pace, and that's why I chose the stem cell program.